Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Storytime with Firefighter Blair. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my job. We're going to read a book called Firefighter's Handbook by Megan McCarthy. So I'm going to kind of read it a little different than normal. I'm going to kind of go to the side and show you what we got. Welcome. Soon you will learn everything you need to know to become a firefighter. The training is hard, but the job is harder, so be prepared. So these guys are all firemen. You will have to pass through tests to become a firefighter. One is called the Candidate Physical Ability Test, or the CPAT. To prepare for the test, try doing some pull-ups and running and biking and walking and squats and climbing stairs and push-ups, a lot of physical activity. It's time for the CPAT. Here are some of the tests you need to pass. So we've got things like the stair climb. That one makes your legs tired. You've got the hose drag, because that's what we have to do is carry around a fire hose. Equipment carry, like chainsaws. You've got to do a search and rescue drag in case you have to pull someone out. Being a firefighter isn't just a physical job, it's a mental job. It's a mental too. Math, science, memory, and spatial reasoning are important. Here's an example. Study this picture carefully and memorize as much of it as possible. At the end of the book, you'll be asked a question about what you remember, so don't forget. You get shot. Firefighters are team players. Being helpful, learning to share, and getting along are all important traits of a firefighter to have. It is also important to have good sense of right and wrong. Before becoming a firefighter, you must be interviewed. Things like, what's the best way to handle a situation where your fellow firefighter often eats your cereal without asking? Do you yell at him? No. Do you get even by eating his cereal? Do you report him to your supervisor? Talk to him to resolve the situation before reporting. You probably want to talk to him and just tell him that it's probably not nice. Congratulations, you made it to the academy. Now you are a probie, which is short for probationary firefighter. Becoming a probie means the real learning begins. This is what you'll wear. It's called personal protective equipment, or PPE for short. All of it together weighs about 45 pounds. It's kind of heavy walking around. You have things like SCBA face piece, and a helmet, and regulator to help you breathe, and an SCBA bottle that holds the air that you breathe, a waist strap to hold that on, flashlights, and voice amplifier. What else do we have? We have a control module, or what we call a pass device, knee pads, reflective stripes so that people can see us in the dark, our boots, gloves, and this is our bunker gears, the whole setup. This is what we use to protect ourselves from fires. Here are some of the tools that we get to use. We get a thermal imaging camera, which is better known as a TIC. It can help us see things when it's very dark or smoky. Chainsaws for helping us cut into roofs or trees or things. A pig-headed axe and wire cutters. Sometimes we have to turn off cars this way. Personal escape kit, sledgehammers, wooden door chocks. Those help us keep doors open. And a Halligan bar. Those help us open doors and hold up hoods and helps us with a lot of various items. You'll ride in either a fire truck or a fire engine. The difference is the ladder on top. A fire truck is like a giant toolbox, carrying tools to break down doors, cut holes for ventilation, and much more. There are different kinds of trucks with different types of ladders, some made to reach the very tops of very tall city buildings. Fire engines carry water, pumps, and hoses to put out fires. Here's a picture of a fire truck, and sometimes how some of the fire people put their equipment in there. You've got sections for where you put axes, and where you put the tools to hook up the hydrants, and fire extinguishers and all the attachments for hose and nozzles and where the water comes in, or the inlet valves and big monitors where they shoot a lot of water out. Both engines and ladder trucks have many compartments. There are different places where you can work as a firefighter that you might not think of, such as on the ocean, with a fireboat, or at the airport, with an ARF truck, or in the forest, like wildland. What kind of firefighter would you like to be? You mustn't be afraid of heights. Some ladder trucks go up very high. You must also be comfortable with going up and down ropes. If you work for the Forestry Service, you may have to rappel out of a helicopter. That's crazy, huh? You will train at something that looks like a movie set. Here, you will practice putting out fires and saving dummies inside the building. It's what we call our burn building or a training facility. So we go in there and we practice how to save people or how to put up fires and things. Be prepared to feel hot. When you go into some fire situations, temperatures can reach over 1,000 degrees. That's really hot. Also, be prepared for little visibility. Sometimes you can only see a foot's length in front of you. It may be so dark you can't see at all, and you have to just touch things. Stay low to the ground and crawl, and feel your way along the walls. You'll use your senses as a firefighter. Sight, smell, touch, and hearing. Always know your way out. You may also need to be trained as a paramedic. A paramedic responds to 911 calls, gives CPR, bandages wounds, and stabilizes a patient, and gives life support. You will be the first line of defense when dealing with the sick and injured patients. Once they are stabilized, they are rushed to the hospital where the doctors take over. As a firefighter, you may go on a lot of emergency calls, not all of them involving fire. A hydraulic tool named the Jaws of Life, or spreaders, will pry and cut metal. Your training as a paramedic will help the injured will be useful. Once you make it through the fire academy, you will be assigned to a fire station. That's what we call our house, where we go to work. You will likely work 10 24-hour shifts per month. That means you'll spend a lot of time at the firehouse. You will eat there, you will hang out there, and sleep there, and your firefighter team will become your second family. We're pretty much like family. You might hear a lot of us call each other brothers and sisters. There can be a lot of downtime, and you will also have chores like cleaning dishes, mopping the floors, and washing off the trucks. And after many hours of chores, you can sit back and relax, but always be ready for fire. Drop what you're doing, slide down the pole, put on your gear, jump into the fire truck, and go. Not all fire stations have poles. Now you're ready. You've trained for this and prepared well. Now you can put out that fire and save lives. See them all working together as a team? Well, that's a little insight into what our job as firefighters are. And I'm glad that you joined me for another episode of Storytime with Firefighter Blair. And I hope to see you soon.